Shalom. It's light out now and the birds are chirping, but it won't be too long until it's bedtime. And so I hope that you'll hear this story with your family, in your jammies, teeth brushed, ready to go to sleep. The story is called The Man Who Had No Dream. Mr. Oliver was the richest man in town. All day long, he sat at his window and watched everyone else work hard for a living. Mr. Oliver didn't have to work hard. He had so much money he could buy anything he wanted. Every evening, Mr. Oliver sat at his window and waited for people to come home from work. Tired after a busy day, the townsfolk rested and looked out at the stars and the moon and the night, but not for long. They were too yawny and drowsy and sleepy from working so hard. The weary workers quickly drifted off to the land of dreams, and they dreamed happy dreams made of wishes and hopes. But Mr. Oliver couldn't sleep because he wasn't tired, and he couldn't dream because he had nothing to dream about. No wishes, no hopes, no fears. Night after night, he tried sleeping in different beds, each one more beautiful than the last. Night after night, he walked back and forth. Still, he couldn't sleep, and he couldn't dream. He just waited for morning to come so he could go back to his window and watch everyone else go out to work hard for a living. One night, when Mr. Oliver was very wide awake and very much alone, he heard a noise at his window. He went to look and found a little hurt bird that had fallen on his windowsill. "Poor little thing, this city is no place for birds." And he lifted the bird very gently, carrying it inside. He put it to bed on a silk cushion. He fed it milk from a silver spoon, and carefully he bandaged its hurt wing. Mr. Oliver worked and worked. At last, tired and yawning and drowsy and sleepy, he fell asleep with the little bird in his arms. And while Mr. Oliver slept, something quite wonderful happened. He had a dream. He dreamed there was a place in the city just for birds. He dreamed about a park for birds with flowers and bird baths and trees. And so the next morning, bright and early, Mr. Oliver hurried outdoors, and for the first time in his life, he began to work. He spaded and raked and planted and watered and built a beautiful park with leafy trees and bright flowers. People and laughing children came there to romp and play and picnic on the grassy hills. From that day on, Mr. Oliver never had trouble going to sleep, and he never slept without a dream. Mr. Oliver was a happy, busy man with wishes and hopes and fears and tears. There's an old song by Irving Berlin that I'd like to share with you. When I'm worried and I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep, and I fall asleep counting my blessings. When my bankroll is getting small, I think of when I had none at all, and I fall asleep counting my blessings. I think about a nursery, and I picture curly heads, and one by one I count them as they slumber in their beds. If you're worried and you can't sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll fall asleep counting your blessings. I hope you've had a good day and you have many blessings that you can count. Let's say the Shema together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God. Adonai is one. Laila Tov, everyone.